for people to start coming in. But yeah, I just wanted to say hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Jauregui, and welcome to another little show that I'm putting together for Facebook Live Audio Room. Today I have the amazing Snow the Product and Princess Nokia on with me, and we're going to be talking about independence, being an independent artist, and kind of all of the ups and downs of the process of putting your music out into the world in such a way where you have ownership and control over everything that goes into it. So yeah, I think we're just gonna invite the speakers, right? I never know how this works, so we're gonna get it going though. Because last time JoJo popped up, so that was how it worked last time. Pregúntale al tipo. Cleo. Hey guys, sorry, I have a dog. So yeah, welcome. David, just wanted to know, do I add them into the space? I think I gotta add them into the space, everybody. Oh, there she is. We got somebody in the room.
Hello.
Hi, Angel.
Hi, sweetheart. I'm so hot. I know how to get in this fucking thing.
Honestly, I respect that. This is new technology. We're moving through it.
I just wanted to make you laugh.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. How are you guys?
I'm good. Where there's snow. Perfect.
Wonderful. That's
Come
so
into
good
the
to hear.
conversation. Hola.
Hello.
Hello.
What's good?
Yes. Are you on?
Yeah, am I on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Completely, perfectly.
There you go.
Lit. This is the first time I've ever been on. Hi, how you guys doing? How's everybody doing?
Wonderful,
Hi.
baby.
Should I like mute when I'm not talking or something? Is there like any etiquette to this, or what do I do?
I think yes, probably, but it's perfect because we're just doing intros right now. So go ahead and introduce yourself so people know who you are. Nokia, if you want to start, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Princess Nokia, and I'm joined by two wonderful artists, musicians. Um, and I'm really excited for this talk.
Yes. And Snow?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Yeah, I'm Snow. Same. I mean, that was an amazing intro. You guys are amazing artists. I'm happy to be here, and thank you for the invite.
Yes,
Gracias, Lauren. Gracias.
of course. Yeah, you guys are two of my favorites. Like, just when it comes to like independent artists, especially women. Of course, my Latina, you know. So when I thought about
We're
this
kind of a
topic,
tribe.
huh?
So we're kind of a tribe.
You know what I mean? Just finding each other around the world. So I really wanted to talk to you guys because I feel like what you guys have done with your careers is just so magnificent because I feel like you guys started each from your own little pockets of creating your own world and having such a clear vision of your artistry and direction and like really sticking to that shit and persevering through all of the obstacles that have come your way. And I feel like even though you guys are in two different paths currently, you guys both started off in your independence, of course. And so I or like in the story of independence or finding it or feeling very empowered by it. So I just really wanted to explore that and talk to you guys about that today.
I want Snow to go first because her
Hey.
journey is precedes mine, and it's something very, very, very special.
Let's go,
Thank
Snow.
you. I
You're
mean,
welcome.
shit. What do you want me to say without crying? No, I'm just joking. Yeah. I mean,
Just
it's
tell us how
been
you
it's been a
started
long
out.
ass journey.
How did you start out? What was it that called you to music to begin with? And tell us a little bit about the beginning of your story and how you've gotten to where you are now.
All right. So in a world, no, I'm just joking. My my grandpa sang mariachi. My dad sang mariachi. My whole family is like super traditional Mexican family, and also just the music and everything. So like everybody, I grew up just that was it. You know, like you sing mariachi. Like there's no other thing you're gonna do. So but I just, as I was growing up, and I'm in the United States, and it's just not really necessarily what like people think are cool. I already was going through my own journey of like having anxiety and being different and like going through depression, and I'm just like, yo, like I'm not mariachi's not really relating to people, and like I don't know what to do. So I just didn't even think music was going to be for me. I wanted to be a social worker. I wanted to go to school for like I wanted to go to obviously major in psychology and like figure out what I could do as far as like social work. But eventually I started like just freestyling and like battle rapping and whatever. People started telling me like I was actually like good, you know. They were like, you should really go for it. um I started to print up my own CDs, print, record myself, make beats, do whatever I could. Sold CDs on the streets for like mad long, and then just kind of like kept going. I always say this, like the only reason that I'm still doing this or that I have any modicum of success at all is literally just like I just didn't stop, and it was because my mom told me I kept quitting everything I did. So she was like, you should really like find one thing and just stick to it. And I guess this just happened to be it, and here we are, you know. But that's pretty much it.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What about you, Nokia?
Well, my journey kind of started by accident. I always like to say. Oh my God! Hold on, my phone just fell. Sorry. Ah, my I always like to say that my excuse me, not my phone. My journey kind of started on accident because when I was like 18, messing around with some friends in a living room, I had a song that got all this attention in a, not, I wouldn't, would you call it, say viral way, but like semi-viral for 2012, I suppose, you know.
Hmm.
And I was like getting these interests in music, from music folk. But me myself, when I say it was an accident, I was a creative and an artist, but not an actual entertainer or artist. Like I was just a teenager trying to be creative and mess around with stuff. And
Hmm.
what happened was that I simultaneously didn't know what I was getting myself into, and kind of kept myself at a at a distance from the music world because I was so unfamiliar with it, and it wasn't my, but really wasn't my intention. And then
Right.
with understanding kind of the, trying to discover the nuances of music and becoming being a young woman at the time, I was really young. I think that I kind of just took a pause because the rap world, it didn't intimidate me, and it never has. It kind of, it was a little, like I've said,
It was a little what?
unfamiliar for go into it, over it was unfamiliar to me, so I didn't want to go into it
Gotcha.
in this assuming way. So I kind of just like did experimental music for a while and was really happy working in the nightlife, like gay scene in New York City and like around the United States and stuff. And it just so happened that I had found my voice through poetry and through hip hop again in 2016 when I made 1992, and
Yeah.
that's what I like to
Iconic.
call as like the start of my journey. I would say, because like everything else before that was personal and very experimental, and I'm grateful for it. But it's a different timeline. So
Yeah.
when that happened for me, I I felt that God had gave me my calling, and finally realize and appreciate and honor and really fully focus on my talent, which was rhyming and MCing and being a songwriter. And I just been kind of taking it from there. I got really blessed by, just having this record that I never thought imaginable. Like never thought, and it opened my eyes to everything that's out there in the world. And I've just been kind of kicking butt since then, and just kind of doing things like Snow on my own. Like the reason why I'm still doing it is because I don't stop. It's a
Hmm.
really wonderful part of the juxtaposition. We don't stop because it's like it's what we do, and it's all kind of all we know and what we survive on. But we have created these beautiful places transcentually through different perspectives, but in the same kind of perspective of going through this independent journey and cultivating these very supportive and beautiful families and fan groups that really support us and get us.
Yeah. I feel like that's one of the like key markers of like an independent artist is like their fan base, right? So like the way that your fans support y'all and show up for y'all, and essentially I feel like that's I feel this way as well, is like the relationship with the fans is really everything because they are the support, you know what I mean? Like they believe in the vision, they feel the art, which is like I think one of the most important things is I feel like nowadays, if you're independent, it's because you're passionate about what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like because you don't want that kind of overhead telling you the creative decisions that you need to be making and the even sometimes business decisions you need to be making. So that relationship with your fans, like I know that the pandemic just hit and shit has been really whack and out of whack. How do you guys feel the like just right now and having gone through the pandemic, like where you're at with because I know like live touring is such an important part of all of this stuff, and that's something that I went through as well this year or last year. Like everything that I had lined up just kind of like fell away, and not to like put you in that position to like talk about something like in a traumatic way, but I feel like both of you have transcended that being an obstacle. Does that make sense? In the way that y'all's careers have continued to just completely thrive even through that. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys could talk a little bit about that and how that might have affected you, that'd be cool. Snow, you can start.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely felt like I was gonna die if there was no touring. Like I had just been in such a same loop, which maybe this, ended up being a blessing in disguise, at least for me, in the sense that um I realized that I could do other stuff, or like I could stay home, or like I could take a break. I really like looked inward. Like I feel like through this pandemic, I at least was able to finally get that break to really figure out a lot of the same cycles I was going through, even with people, or, it kind of became everybody's going through this traumatic time, and we all kind of need to look inward and see, why or where we can improve or whatever. And I think I definitely cut ties with like a lot of people, and that helped me have some more peace and maybe be able to work on myself and work on my family and spend time with my son, and just all these things that just naturally on some life shit just made my life so much better.
Yeah, more
So now I
balance.
think I could, yeah, now I think I can just like reapproach everything. And now you slowly bring in shows and like tours again, and you're like, okay, bet, like I think I can handle this. Whereas before, like I was on such a time, like my career was touring, you know what I mean? So it's like I
Yeah.
knew that I'm gonna go back on the road these days, or like these 2 months, and it was just like fuck, like everything kind of revolves around that, and I'm gonna, here we go again. Like I got that rock star type show, which, is unfortunately unhealthy for me. There's just drinking and twerking and champagne and bottles, and then you're lit and all these things, and it's like, yo, like I wasn't really taking care of myself, honestly, and I feel like I would even be embarrassed to say that sometimes, because I wanted everybody to think I'm okay or I'm fine, but I could tell that it was really taking a toll on me personally. So I think that this time away from everything and just being able to be home has helped me, and probably in some ways definitely saved my life. Like I think it's been crazy. But it was all like a shift, definitely, that had to happen. But
Hmm.
I hope everything is gonna be better now, going back to it.
Yeah.
Amen.
I mean, definitely,
I
I feel
gotta
like those
say that
lessons,
your output of creativity was incredible during the pandemic.
incredible. Incredible.
Fucking crazy.
Snow, we talking to you.
Huh? Sorry, y'all cut out a little bit for, well,
Say,
I know
huh?
for
I
me,
say your
but
output of content and creativity during the pandemic was fucking incredible.
oh
Yeah.
shit. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, I've always done everything at home, like I edit with my brother. Like that's the big thing, right? Like me and my brother, and my relationship, and like the way that we've done things really just, I guess it really shined when this
Oh,
pandemic thing happened,
that's
because that's when I was
beautiful.
able to just, like I really do all this because I wanted to be able to work with my brother, my cousin. Like I wanted to be able to have my friends in my life. Like I'm mad attached to people. Like I'm a Cancer,
My
so like
little
I'm
cancer baby.
yeah, like I want to be at home, and I want to be with my family, and I want to feel safe. Like that is where I thrive. So
Right.
once I was home with my family and safe, and then I got this ranch, so we've been able to just really just be here, but everybody still have their own space, but also like still be together. So yeah, we got the cameras, we got the podcast, we got the video, the vlogs, the songs, the studio, the recording, like everything's here. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm just home, I'm just being
Yeah.
a crab all around the ranch and chilling.
That's
Yeah, big. So
amazing.
y'all even have your own like warehouse, merch warehouse. That shit was so crazy. When I walked in there, I was like, "Damn, you really do this!" Like,
That's fucking
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah, it's crazy,
So
man.
cool.
What about you, Nokia? How do you feel like the transition, or just essentially how to like maintaining the relationship with your fans? Like, how did you feel? Because you also did incredible things during the pandemic.
Oh,
So
thank you. You know, I gotta tell you, after it's so crazy. It's a similar similar response, but in a different way. It was a blessing in disguise because I have to tell you, I was in the middle of tour when the pandemic hit, and I had to come back home. And honey, I was 2 seconds away from a mental breakdown. No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
For
From like
real, huh?
from a physical, no, from a physical breakdown. I had been touring nonstop in Europe for years.
Mhm.
That's kind of what I was doing right at the just of 92 and up until 2019. And I had just not stopped. I was just in and out of Europe because that was where my bag was. And I just, it's exhausting. I don't, like, I would be in Europe for like a month at a time, several times out the month. And it was beautiful. And it was a blessing in my life and a beautiful period in my life. But it was really, it took a lot out of me. And a part of that took a lot out of me is because I didn't have a supportive system back at home. So while I was doing
Mhm.
all these things and my life was changing, I didn't have the support that I needed that one would, deserve in that, in that flux of their life. So
Right.
I always just felt really, I was just very overworked and having a lot of stuff going on in my personal life that was very draining and stuff. So it was, rewarding with a several years of reward, yet emptiness at the same time. And I didn't have any time for myself sometimes it felt. So I was like doing so much and going out there again, and I it helped me take a rest and rest my body in a way
Mm.
that I don't think if I would have had that chance I would have something would have just been off for me, I believe. And I took the time to really just rest and reevaluate my priorities as a person and as a woman, and that has just been so lovely. And I'm a homebody anyway, so
Right.
yeah, so like I know this sounds dark, but it didn't bother me none, honey. I was just delicious, like staying
Yeah,
at
I feel like
home, wonderful. Oh my
can be
god,
alone. I can
yes.
use this
I
excuse to not
I
see
can ride
nobody.
my bike and there's no traffic downtown.
Oh,
Fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
actually, that was kind of one of the most iconic parts about it was how quiet the streets were. Like that was so poetic to me sometimes. I know it was kind of like apocalyptic too, but that shit was poetic. Like just this emptiness of expansiveness of human creativity that was just so OD. And then it's like everyone's at home because of a thing we can't even see. I just thought it was so wild.
Oh
no,
my
it's
gosh. I love how
completely
you guys talk.
apocalyptic.
What the fuck? Like you said the shit was delicious. She said it was poetic. I'm just thinking about how many like bougainvilleas I've been wrestling back here and like getting attacked by plants.
Wait,
I'm
I
like, what
want a
the fuck?
bougainvillea. That's a great
I'm like,
name.
Snow has a
right?
whole
I'm
ass
like,
finca that she lives on, dude. Like a whole
Oh,
finca.
yo quiero visitar, honey.
Yeah, we
yeah,
gotta do
pull
it. We
up, pull
gotta
up,
do a
pull
link
up.
up.
I would love to. Oh,
For
that's
those of you that
amazing.
Right?
who are just joining us now, it's Lauren Jauregui, and I'm in here with Princess Nokia and some of the products, and we're talking about independent careers and such. And I guess I wanted to ask you guys also, so like, what's been your journey just and kind of deciding between the whole label situation, of course, and independence? I feel like those are two different routes that you can go. But I know Nokia, you just recently signed with a major situation.
Yeah, I
Um,
did.
yeah, so I would love to hear like your just perspective on that and like the transition or like your own kind of story of where you were and where you want to go and how you envision, because I feel like every indie artist has like a different vision for where they want their careers to go, you know what I'm saying? So I
No,
just love to
totally.
talk to each of you about like your personal vision and how you got there.
Well, my personal vision was always quite clear. I think that I just wanted to carve out a space in my world without in invading a space is just by sharing an ethos of, serious like fun and beauty and safe space. And that's kind of what my music and my journey and my concerts have always been about, is
Mm-hmm.
being for the counterculture. It's for being, it's for unconventional artists, folks, lifestyle. It is just the center of being different.
Yeah.
And that has helped me in my life and been really special. And allowed me to not have to feel like I have to confine to the the standards that are around me, which are very high. And when you set the bar low and make that cool, it becomes fucking cool. And I think that's kind of just been my whole. That has really just been my game trick this whole time. And I'll lay my cards out on the table. It's like, I always say when you I didn't my the best parts of me began when I started embracing how imperfect I was. And
Right.
so like, I did it independent for a while. I did just distribution deals for a
Deal.
while for an EP and an album. And I've sung, I've written all of my albums by myself.
Right. Right.
So like I I have incredible relationships with the owners and the teams that of the distributions that I had done previously before my major. And I worked with Rev Trade, and I worked with Platoon, and I have great relationships. I always sought out healthy, secure, non-invasive, work environments, as one would do in any space, not just music, but like I think
Right.
I always was very conscientious of the spiritual battlefield, that
Yes.
surrounds where we
Yes.
do
Yes.
and who we're around. And
Amen. Amen.
and there's certain things that should be said that don't need to be said, but it's like it's a wild world out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a very to myself kind of person, and I'm a very innocent person. So, it's just like finding the right folk and not trying to put myself in situations just for the sake of entertainment and being visible. It's like, okay, well, what are the real types of intentions and meanings do these people have for me, my respect, my legacy, my music? And when I find,
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much, sir. And when I have found those relationships, they work the best. And
Right.
then for this major, I was came with a proposition from a certain company at Arista and certain people that had really believed in me. So it just ended up being a really great relationship that blossomed and flourished through mutual respect and like mutual future intentions. So they
Right.
just they really met me halfway and all the way, and they respect my boundaries. They
I
respect
love
my
that.
creative control, and that's
Yes.
the type of things that I would recommend as an artist. Trying to build and around your foundation of making positive, safe spaces with major labels. It's like you don't owe nobody shit. It's like what can people do for you that is in your best interest of your life, your
Oh.
comfortability,
Ooh. 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 You're
your
breaking
boundaries.
up, mama. Wait.
So
Hold up. Hold up.
I
Hold up.
find
I'm
I
sorry.
found
You. you
that,
ooh.
and hear me? Oh, okay, sorry. Hold on, I went to the storage room.
Sorry, babe. You. Yeah. You broke
That
up a little bit.
oh,
Your
sorry.
list.
So
You got to go over that list again.
I was just saying that I've just been try I you've got to find like really great people that share your best common interests and have your best interests at heart and really give you the space to be yourself and not want to change
Yes.
you and really
Yes.
respect your boundaries and your creative control and your vision. And I feel
Yes.
like I found that, and I'm older, I'm
Yes.
a grown woman. And those things, like, I know I keep are very important, and I know they are very important to both for y'all. It's like I feel like that's where we flourish the best, like as individuals, like not even as
Yeah.
artists. Like us
I
three
agree.
individuals, we have standards and boundaries for who we are and what we accept in life. And
100%.
it's about doing that with music and with the people that you come across. And I feel like I'm lucky, and that's kind of where
Yeah.
I am in this journey. And it's still very new for me. And sometimes it's a little confusing. Sometimes it's a little but there's growing pains. Being a teenager is confusing. Getting your breasts is confusing. So, you know, so it's like, for me, it's like music is like one constant. It's like the cafeteria in high school, and you're just trying to figure it out.
Okay, Miss
Yeah.
Artist, Miss Writer. What about you,
No.
Flo? How do you feel like your journey with that? Oh wait, first of all, I want to just acknowledge that and resonate very deeply with the advice that you're giving, because I feel like I came from a situation where I auditioned for like a reality TV show was the route that I chose. So I was 16 and really naive about kind of the route that would have been in this industry. And so like I went from a place where I had like zero creative control and just like a whole like no kind of expression or freedom to do that. During like the ripe years, I feel like, of when my creativity would have, just like some really ripe years of creativity, like 16 through 20 is like a pretty intense time of like reinvention and recreation, and my soul was just like not able to create during that time, you know. So I feel like I'd
Mm-hmm.
really gotten and felt that independence as I, you know, as the group ended and I moved away from that, and have been moving into my own album writing process, kind of just detangling myself from the tentacles that were where I was in, you know what I'm saying, and like just unraveling myself in that process. I think that's that is my biggest thing, is I just want to be environments that I feel safe in, and that people
Mm-hmm.
respect my vision in, you know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like there's so many people who come to the table with all these offers, and then at the end of the day they don't really care about your value. They just see your valuation, they see you as a fucking product. And so you're like, you think that people are caring about you, but then like it's a very spiritual thing, like you just mentioned. It's about like what resonates with my gut, about like, is this person actually interested in my vision, or are they interested in what they think I could give them in the long run,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So that's been
Mm-hmm.
a real intense process of discernment and growth for me. And I've definitely moved more into an independence and into a place of like knowing my value, and knowing that the art that I have created now and that I have been able to create and come out and has been able to come out of me is, you know, is worth being respected, is worth being taken seriously in a space with people who understand the vision. So I totally feel you on that point. But yeah,
I think what you
so
said
what
was very eloquent and really fucking beautiful.
thank you.
I know
That's
y'all
So
both
gorgeous.
out here with the poetry. I'm like, y'all said it. That's yep, that's
Honey, you
it.
had the
That
best poetry of us all. You said bang and nangums. You said a plant name that was just out of this world. I said, oh no, we not fucking on her level right now. Like my girl is a horticulturist.
That's funny. Nah, I mean, yeah, you guys said it. I think at the end of the day, as women, strong women, independent women, like
right.
we're looking for being valued, and being, people care. I think with me, my journey obviously has been a long one, and I had my son, and my name's Snow the product for a fucking reason. Like I really wanted Snow the product to be the product, and kind of keep my personal like Claudia like to myself. You know what I mean? Because I was very sensitive and like just I don't know. I feel like I've always had to deal with like mental health and like making sure that like I'm good and I'm safe, because I've just gone through, shit that maybe I needed to get better from, but I was like, I can't right now. I got to go get this bag because I got a kid. So let's just fucking go. So I was with a major. I think it could have worked. I think it was a great, concept, and like talking about it was could have worked. Unfortunately, I don't think the world was ready for somebody like me at that time. And so I've like kind of came to terms with that, like of like I don't think it would have worked anywhere. I'm Mexican American, like queer. I had a kid. I have all these different little things that I can think come with their own nuances of like. I've always talked about immigration. I've always talked about, my parents. I'm first generation Mexican, and kind of comes with certain things that you have to unfortunately wear as your whole identity. But through all that, I think I've grown up. I think I feel a lot more like Claudia. I thought about naming my fucking project that, because I'm like, I feel like finally I feel safe to just be myself, not
Oh, I
so much
love
like this other
that.
thing.
I
Yeah,
love
like
that.
yeah, I think I finally, like I think I'm kind of coming. They're both the same person now. You know what I mean? Like I think I'm strong enough to kind of like be out here now as myself. And Lauren, like we talked and you gave me like really good advice, and it was like fucking dope, because yeah, this shit has weathered me. You know what I mean? Like I definitely have gone through things that I'm like, damn, like I really put all my fucking hopes into what people have said, and then they just like let me down, and that disheartenment, that shit that happens just sucks. It breaks your heart. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to me, what I did was I just stayed independent, 100%, uploaded TuneCore, don't give a fuck about nothing. I'm like, we're going to shoot my own videos. I'm going to edit that shit. Like, I'm going to record myself. I'm going to do everything myself. And I'm going to try to see if all those times that people told me that I was wrong, like if I was really tripping, or if it was like, oh, nah, like you didn't do your job and now you blamed it on me, because I really took that shit to heart. So I just
Mm.
wanted to start from zero again, and just be like, okay, like let me add things into my, it's kind of like when you're trying to figure out what you're allergic to and you kind of like take things away and then you kind of start adding shit again and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
bet. So that's
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
felt. That's how I felt. And right now I'm really in a good place where like I'm talking to labels. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm talking to distros. I'm talking to labels. I finally have a manager. Like I'm adding little things into my life and being like, okay, like where can I improve this?
Growth.
Because it's a lot of responsibility on me. And I'm like, bitch, I got I got a 11-year-old that now is wilding.
Yes, yes, he sounds good.
Bitch, I'm a mother. Okay, no.
Right?
No drama, but all the things. Um, but I agree. I mean, that's the real point. I feel like that's so beautiful though, because I love also just the journey of like understanding what your value is and what your worth is and building that yourself. Like even though nobody else sees the vision or other people don't see the vision, and you get those rejections and you get those no's and you get all of those, oh, if you were just this, maybe you would work. Bullshit
Mm-hmm.
bullshit
Yeah.
lines, you know? I just feel like you guys are just two beautiful examples to me of women who have persevered past that kind of bullshit and have just been like, "Oh, really, bitch? Let me show you something." You know what I'm saying? Oh,
No,
oh,
but
really?
Lauren, I think
Let me
you're
just show
included in
you.
that conversation as well, completely and entirely.
Hell yeah.
Simply because,
Thanks.
I mean, like you and I know each other on a personal level, and the way you've been so transparent in your experiences is like I think we all have had a chance to have a second coming of age in this business. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like our more formative years when we were younger people, we weren't as appreciated or we didn't know what the fuck was going on and we
Right.
didn't have as much control and it was frustrating. And here we are, better versions of ourselves because that's what we do every day. We become better versions of ourselves. And I think this is what spirit allows us, like
Mm.
he it's a I always say it's God, it be God's time and whatever that you know
I
um
agree. I agree.
idea if
Mm-hmm.
that is.
All
And
the way.
we all, I feel like we're all at the best parts of our life right now because of God's timing.
Amen.
Yep.
And those
Amen.
Amen.
things, they shouldn't have happened, but they did, and they're here. And we all have greater perspective and wiser ideas and virtues, and we are those special people in this business that have good hearts and have incredible stories behind them.
Amen. And
Yeah,
that's what
Amen.
makes our
Fuck.
art so dope.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. I really do. And I think people need that more in the world. They that's when you were talking about fans earlier. Like our fans love us because it's not a fantasy. There's something so relatable and available and vulnerable in all
And
of us
wrong.
that speaks to
Mm-hmm.
the next person.
Amen.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I honor that in each of you. And I thank you so much for being on here today with me
Oh, I
and
love y'all both.
having this
Thank you.
combo with
Yes, I love y'all
people.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
If y'all
Thank
don't
you everyone
know
for
or
checking
don't follow
in.
them, yeah, you gotta go follow these ladies because they're the shit. As
Yeah.
people and as artists, so they're the all the way around.
Thank
Um,
you. And you guys are you get yeah, sorry because I feel like I'm like not giving y'all's like props too, like because I'm like fucking in awe of y'all's the way y'all talk. I'm like, okay, shit, I gotta go read a goddamn thesaurus right now. But I'm like, bet. I'm about to start fucking on my big pun shit again. Like when I first started, I'm gonna make a boom bap song right now out of
let's
fucking
go. Let's
words.
go.
Nah,
I'm ready. I'm
but
ready
That
y'all
for
are
it.
sounds
fucking amazing, and
amazing.
I'm loving, right?
That sounds
Like
amazing.
spiritual.
That
But yeah, you
song
guys are
that you
fucking
did
dope.
with
And
Nathaniel Cano and Snoop Dogg is fucking crazy, bro.
Crazy.
I know,
That is
right?
wild.
I'm out here being unorthodox as fuck in my
No,
approach, because
it's
bro, like
it's beautiful.
people in this industry really have forever had this like idea of what it should be if you're a woman, what it should be if you're Latina, what it should be if you're, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, like no, like, and I think that's what sometimes people forget. Like we all come from different places. Like corrido really relates to me more than some of the fucking songs that I'm not gonna make a I don't know, some songs that have been pitched to me, I'm like, bro, like that don't even make sense for me,
It
but
literally doesn't even make sense.
but shit, I'm with Snoop Dogg and Nathaniel Cano. I mean, hey, there you go.
Let's do it.
Oh,
Fuck
amazing.
it.
All
Oh,
right,
honey,
people.
that was full force.
Hell yeah.
All right,
Yes.
it was lovely to talk to both of y'all. And Lauren, thank you so
Yes.
much for having me.
Of course.
Yeah,
I love
thank
you.
you.
Thank you
I
guys for
love you too,
being here.
Nana.
Mwah.
Mwah.
All
Besos.
righty. Besitos. All right, everybody.
Besitos y
Thank you guys.
amor. Felicidad, la alegra.
Eso. Thank
Eso
you guys
es.
so, so much for
Sorry.
being here. No, you're good, babe. You guys can go
Are you
ahead
good,
if you
babe?
want. I'm gonna just
We
announce the
catch up
last
another
one.
time.
No, I couldn't figure out where the hell I mean, like, I was like, what's about to happen? How am I gonna hang up? But I didn't know how, and then I did it. But
You did it.
sorry,
You got
I was
it.
like, damn, I didn't know how to work this shit. Thank you for bringing me to technology right now. I appreciate y'all.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Mwah.
Thank you, love y'all.
Love
Bye.
you.
Bye. That was beautiful. I love them so much. Wow. Okay, so tomorrow I've got another room. Yay! Another one, 3 in a row. Let's do it. So tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time, with Jesse Reyes. We finally got the reschedule. We're gonna be talking about representing Latin. You know, I got all my Latinas coming through this whole chat, so we're gonna be having a conversation